This week, Squarespace is giving a 1-year subscription away free to build your own website. So in honor of Ryan Holiday, the obstacle is the way. Tweet me your obstacle, the one in your life that you overcame or you're about to. Use the hashtag obstacle. I'll pick the best one and you'll win. Now get typing. Peace. You know, when Tim was here, I asked him, because when he lays a book out, I think when he did the 4-Hour Body, he put out the entire marketing campaign, how he did it, how you get on the New York Times bestseller, how come ebooks are different than print books, why it has to be hard. He went through the whole thing, and like in Ferriss style, give you all the details. I remember he posted his media schedule one time and showed every single interview he did for 3 days. So I had him in here and I was like, Tim, why are you giving away the secrets? And he was like, Brian, you'd be surprised how very few people will actually do what I said. And I was wondering is that ring true a little bit with, trust me, I'm lying, isn't it? You can put all that stuff out there.
First off, it's like people are too lazy, they won't do it. Or they're too afraid because they've got all these like various risks or whatever. Or I think third, what they're doing, this kind of goes to the second one, but a lot of times it's like, you might get the list of all the shows that Tim has been, or you might get my actual breakdown of all the sites that I buy ads on, or that I pitch media stories to. But if what you're doing is boring or uninteresting, or you don't have that sort of product market fit that really has created a compelling product, it doesn't matter.
Right. So well said. Enough said. How did you get hooked up with Tim? And do you still work with him? Yeah. How did that all work? And
so I met Tim in 2007, before the 4-Hour Chef came out. I'd gone to South by Southwest with Tucker, and Tim was just going around like asking everyone questions. So we ended up doing I helped him out with some marketing stuff for the book. It was just like, hey, this is a really cool book. I think it's smart. How can I help? And what I didn't realize, of course, was that Tim had gone around and asked everyone else on the planet for that exact same favor. And the reason that his book blew up is that he was really cool. He just became friends with all these people who could help him, and they helped him. And then he repaid the favor once he became successful, right? It was a pretty brilliant move, now that I think about it.
With all of his books or with the last book?
With the first book.
The first book, okay.
So I'm talking about 4-Hour Work Week.
Okay.
Tim didn't have when we started talking about how to market books, Tim did not have a book out.
That's 6 years ago.
Okay. Yeah, and then so it's like, I gave him like 2 pieces of little advice or whatever, a couple of pieces of little advice. And then he goes on and takes what I gave him and then what a million other people gave him, and then just goes out and crushes it. I mean, that book hits #1 on all the bestseller lists. It sells millions of copies because he took the raw information and put immense amount of hustle and his analytic mind towards it, and he turned it into basically the blueprint for creating a best-selling book, in the sort of 21st century. So I met him then. I helped a little with 4-Hour Body, and then he hired my marketing company to do 4-Hour Chef with Amazon to do the marketing side. I've marketed some of his other projects that he's worked on, and then he bought the audiobook rights for The Obstacle Is the Way and published it himself. He and I have also bonded over this sort of mutual affinity for Stoicism. I think that's if I remember correctly, that's one of the things we sort of bonded over. He quotes Seneca in the 4-Hour Work Week, so we sort of talked about Stoicism a lot. And I wrote a post for his site about this a long time ago. Okay. It was my first piece of writing that people saw and thought was good. So he gave me that chance. And then, so when I wrote this book, we were hanging out in Amsterdam like a couple years ago, and I showed him the manuscript, and he was like, I love it. I'm doing this audiobook thing. How can we do this together? He ended up buying the rights from Penguin and Profile here in the UK. He published it on his site. He has like a book club now. Okay. So this was like 2 weeks ago now. He did a big thing about it.
Is that the way he pays you back, or was he paying you back over the years anyways?
Oh, I mean, Tim is a great friend. So you never feel like Tim owes you, because Tim is very good about sharing and connecting it. And plus, it's funny, it's like, I showed him a little bit about book marketing, and he showed me tons about book marketing just from, not only the stuff you post on his website, but privately we're all sharing information about what's working and what's not working. But I mean, obviously it was an honor, and there was some financial benefit in him publishing the book, but I think he bought it because he would never have bought a book, especially a book from me, if he didn't like it and think it was good. Like the first book he published was the audiobook of Vagabonding by Rolf Potts, which was like the book that inspired the 4-Hour Workweek. So it's very humbling to me to sort of to be in that company.
I think he's just really appreciative of smart guys with big ideas that real metrics, and they're accountable and they work hard. Everything you're looking in for an intern, and I'm guessing that's why you like him as well. You know.
Totally.
Yeah. We take real pride in our websites and who we work with on the show, and those are the guys at Squarespace. They've been running our website londonreal.tv and our siliconreal.com for over a year now, and they are an all-in-one platform to make it fast and easy to build your own professional website or portfolio. These guys have the tech down. It's drag and drop. It is easy. I used to run a WordPress site, and I used to have to FTP audio files and all this nonsense. And now when you see these blogs that I write every week where I talk to you about my personal impressions of the guests, I literally just bust those out, drop the picture in, boom, and it's done.